and Surround can do for you, visit surroundchicago.com. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
Fox News, I'm Jim Osman. The attempted Wagner Group insurrection against Russia may change the direction of the war in Ukraine.
After a tense day in Russia, a deal struck by the president of Belarus appears to have pulled the country back from the brink of civil war. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko was reportedly working the phones all day Saturday, ferrying messages between Russian leadership and the Wagner Group leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin. As part of the agreements to avoid a Wagner march on Moscow, the Kremlin says Prigozhin will move to Belarus. It's unclear at this point what his life will look like there or if he'll maintain any control over the thousands of mercenary fighters he leads in the Russia-Ukraine war and across parts of Africa.
Trey Yinks reporting there. Now to the White House with reaction.
About the intelligence community knowing that this Wagner mutiny was coming, that would be news to the Pentagon, I've been told. They did not know it was coming, according to officials we have spoken with. President Biden speaking with Ukraine's president, the White House releasing a statement about that call. It reads, quote, President Biden spoke today with President Zelensky of Ukraine to discuss support for Ukraine as it defends itself against Russian aggression. They discussed Ukraine's ongoing counteroffensive, and President Biden reaffirmed unwavering U.S. support, including through continued security, economic, and humanitarian aid. The leaders also discussed recent events in Russia.
Stay with Fox News and foxnews.com for the latest. A health scare for Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. She's undergone surgery following a breast cancer diagnosis. The 63-year-old was diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer following a routine mammogram. Good news here, though. The surgery was a success, and Sarah's prognosis is very good. She was released from the hospital in London today. America is listening to Fox News.
This is Sean Thompson, and I'm proud to tell you about the great work of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, a new partner of ours here at AM 560. Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. When a first responder or military service member doesn't come home and young children are left behind, Tunnel to Towers pays the mortgage on the family home to lift the financial burden and bring stability. For catastrophically injured veterans and first responders, Tunnel to Towers builds mortgage-free smart homes, giving our most severely injured heroes the ability to live more independent lives. You can help America's heroes and their families by supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation when you make a small donation of just $11 a month. Go to T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. T2T.org.
Barbecue bags and brews sound great right about now. But are you really ready to entertain on that dirty, oil-stained driveway or patio? No oil stain removal is too big or too small for Cabino Environmental. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, you can use Cabino Oil Stain Remover. It's a safe, effective, and powerful oil stain lifting formula. This is not the same stuff you buy at the big box store. This is a concentrated, all-natural stain lifter that goes deep into the concrete or brick for superior cleaning. Simply pour it on the soiled area, let it dry, and then brush away. Start your cleanup at CabinoEnvironmental.com. The Cabino Environmental Response Team will come to your rescue across Northern Illinois and the Milwaukee area. And you can purchase the Cabino Oil Stain Remover online and have it shipped anywhere in the U.S. and Canada. Can't wait? Cabino Oil Stain Remover is also now available at your local Rental Max.
Throughout the summer, think before you drive impaired. Choose a designated sober driver. You could save a life and a lifetime of regret. The Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists of Schaumburg is committed to preventing deaths and injuries caused by chemically impaired or distracted drivers. AAIM's Drunk Buster program pays $100 to motorists to report an impaired driver that leads to a DUI arrest. The program is in effect for all of Illinois during the summer. Citizens are encouraged to report erratic driving to the police. Dial 911 and be a drunk buster. You can save a life. For more information on this program, visit AAIM1.org. AAIM1.org. The Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists has witnessed the effects of drunk driving and encourages you to make the right decision. AAIM supports crash victims emotionally, financially, and throughout the court process. Learn more at aaim1.org. Call 847-240-0027. The Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists, encouraging you to designate a sober driver.
AM 560, The Answer. This live program is sponsored by Safer USA OT Media Group. It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
This is clearly the best breaking news that has ever been announced on this show. I'm just, that you brought this in warms the cockles of my heart.
I'm glad it does, and I'm glad that we just completely ignored the fact that I had an open written.
Let's start over.
No,
let's start over.
No, go ahead.
I didn't, since you became the co-host, I don't think of you as an announcer anymore.
No, go ahead.
No, you can do it.
No, I'm good.
Fine. But the point is, the news is great. Listen to this. This is from research, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is based on research.
It's based on research, and we all know academic research is, well, here it is. During strenuous exercise, plaque in major arteries can become dislodged and travel to the brain where it blocks a blood vessel, causing a stroke. That's phenomenal. That's justification for never having to go to the gym again.
Hey, you know what? That's what I say. It's called carotid artery stenosis, and if you have plaque in your carotid arteries and you exercise, or even, according to this article, take a brisk walk,
exactly,
or go swimming, you could have a stroke.
You could gork out.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
I mean, nobody wants to have a stroke.
Of course not. Well, it depends what your stroke. But that's not the point.
Well.
But yeah, but this is the justification for years for eating ice cream and not working out.
Hey, you know what? That's what I say, because, you hear all these stories about, eating spinach and lettuce and E. coli, and nobody ever got E. coli from chocolate cake.
That's a good point.
And ice cream.
I never thought of that. Have you researched this stuff?
Well, to the extent that what I just said, yes, I have. Although it may all completely be a bunch of...
No, don't say that, because I'm going to cling on to this like somebody who's fallen off a ship and you throw them an anchor. I mean, any port in a storm, you'll try it, right? It suggests that as many as 16.5 million Americans may want to now listen carefully to this, may want to refrain from going all out while they work out. Well, I'll buy that.
That's 5%, actually. So if you think you might fall in that 5% category, you basically get a pass.
Exactly.
On actually doing anything.
I've been thinking of cutting out, getting a T-shirt, put it on,
And I guess this is ramping up too. So in the early 2000s, they said 2 million Americans were estimated to have this condition, but now, right? So we'll go from early 2000s to, mid, 2020, and now 16.5 million people. So this is just exponentially just growing. So in the next 5 years, I think the whole country is just going to be in this category where you don't have to do anything.
I think we have verbal input from a walking potential stroke victim. Did you say something, George?
I said it sounds like progress. More to the point, actually, when you talk about E. coli, it doesn't come from chocolate cake. What it tends to come from is vegetables.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Things that aren't cooked. So if you go to Taco Bell, skip the lettuce. Be healthy.
Skip the lettuce, right? Although if you get anything from Taco Bell, I'm sure it's so finely processed and irradiated and nuked that, of course, it's not going to do well on your stomach, but it's not going to be from E. coli.
It's also being processed by 17-year-olds who are PO'd that they have to have a part-time job because their father won't give them any money.
That's kind of few and far between at this point now. I think they just get money or they just don't do anything.
Well, I think they get money and still don't do anything.
That whole generation just is a big disappointment for the most part. Not the whole generation, but a large part of it.
Every generation has always said of the upcoming generation, they're worthless, they can't do this and that. Yet we had kids in the 60s had long hair. They're going to hell. And, I mean, every generation has said that about the upcoming generation.
And Western society definitely hasn't declined since then or anything.
Oh, not at all. No. Well, this research is a clear example. We're going in the right direction. But the point is that this time around, it's perfectly reasonable to say that they're screwing up. I mean, they want to make this a socialist country. That's literally what's happening.
Well, part of me, and this funny thing about this is that, an analysis of 13,000 stroke victims in 2021 said that acute anger, emotional upset, or heavy physical exertion can have a higher risk of stroke. So don't get angry, just kind of sit there and, act like a pile of mush and don't do anything. In a way, how much of this, in these types of news articles are kind of, convincing us to just, not do anything and just kind of sit there so that when, the government comes and takes over, we're just like, everybody's going to be in their recliners floating around and watching TV. I forgot what movie that was, but it was a scene from one of those movies. I know George knows. Wall-E, there you go.
I don't get angry. I haven't gotten angry since I left the sheriff's department.
There's no need to get angry.
No. It's like we were talking about before the show about, and apparently in Indiana they take a more of a frown view of this. The guys who are going, I'm a sovereign citizen, and what right do you have to stop me? I can travel for wherever it is. There's a video of a cop who I've never seen such a chill cop in my life. The guy opens the window like quarter of an inch and slides his stuff out.
Yep.
And the cop just keeps saying, "Sir, I need to see your, driver's license and insurance." Well, what right do you have to stop a man? What right do man? And he goes on like for 15 minutes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Well, in the process of that, you see the cop turn sideways and talking into his mic, right? He's calling for backup. And he's just like, "Yes, sir, I know, sir, but I need to see this." He's being very polite. Backup arrives. Backup looks at him, and he smashes the window and just drags the guy out of the car.
You could tell that was just building up, and he was just waiting for that. But up until then, he had his hands up, in the interview position.
Yeah.
He was just talking, and no sir, we need to do this, sir. We need to do this, sir. And then as soon as backup comes, bam. So it's interesting.
He doesn't exercise either.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's I don't doubt it, and I don't. I certainly don't want to make fun of people who've stroked out because of this kind of thing.
No, I mean, it is a serious thing, and just as like a public service announcement, of course, there's the whole FAST thing to analyze whether someone's having a stroke, and if there is, time is of the essence, and you need to get help for it. So if you do exercise, or if you're cutting your grass and you start to have symptoms of a stroke, if your face starts drooping, or you can't speak properly, or things like that, then you need to. You could be one of these new stroke victims.
You just described half my neighbors.
If the line with the lawnmower is like waving left and right, you probably.
It's not because of meth, George. It's different reasons.
But no, that's not the type you smoke. This is the type that you. Yeah. It's realistically, if you go to other countries, we eat differently than most countries do. I mean, you don't find every corner there's a fast food joint. I mean, it's a lot of countries. If you go to France, for instance, I mean, they basically go shopping every day. On the way home from work, they pick up stuff, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and stuff.
They eat a lot of bakery too, though.
They do, because they're so good at it.
Side effect of that is they have a very strong mom and pop food economy.
Very
small
very
business
much
food
so.
economy.
Very much so. Yeah, it's. I was telling this to Gretchen because we're both kind of foodies, and I was telling her, in the world, Paris is for food. Paris is like right up at the top. You can't get a bad meal unless you go to McDonald's, and even McDonald's in France, McDonald's serves wine. So their menu is partly. So
wine is the secret.
That's the secret. You want to put down a Big Mac, just chug a glass of wine.
I heard it's good for you. That's true of like other parts of the world too. It's like even with McDonald's, like you go to different areas, they'll have different menu items. Like you go down south, they got biscuits and gravy. That stuff's pretty good too.
When I went into the Army, they took us from Chicago by train to Memphis, and we changed trains in Memphis and to go to Louisiana. And they had breakfast laid out for us, and they had grits. I'd never heard of grits. I didn't know what grits were.
Oh, I need that soundbite from my cousin Vinny.
It was like,
I go, grit.
What do you do with this? It's like wall paste or something. Right. But it's got to be the most versatile thing. You can put sugar on it. You can put salt and pepper on it. I mean,
it's like oatmeal.
It sort of is, yeah. It sort of is. I get used to it. Now I'll eat grits. It's fine.
Them's hominy grits. That's right.
Hominy grits.
Thanks,
That's
Barry.
right. Exactly. It's the pith of corn, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, hominy's corn.
If you just had a diet of grits, you probably wouldn't stroke out.
I don't know.
Grits covered in gravy, that becomes a little.
If there's any one of our listeners that's willing to try that out, for a month or two, and you see how that works out, give us a call, let us know.
Yeah, that's right. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, and let us know if you've tried to eat grits with gravy or anything else. If you've been eating grits your entire life, call us from your wheelchair. We'd like to hear. We'd like to hear how it's going. Yeah, what can you say? I don't know. We're going to take a break here in about half a minute. And when we come back, I've got some remarks made by President Biden at a campaign reception, which shows the stellar intellect of our president. Was that a sigh of relief, or was that?
I don't know.
Yeah. He's very pithy. He's full of pith. Yeah. All that and more we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560.
The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Are you putting signage on your house, in your yard?
Are you annoyed by signage on other people's yards like Dan is for some reason?
The intersection between people with a hate has no home here sign and people with congratulations on getting out of 8th grade signs. Was that Venn diagram a perfect circle?
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
You know when you start up a motorcycle and you hear it go vroom, vroom, vroom when it takes off? I was losing that. I was losing my energy. I started using Balance of Nature about 1.5 years ago. Noticed the results immediately, and I went, oh my gosh, this works. This is what I've been missing all my life. I missed my va-va voom. I got it back.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dennis Prager. Now you can listen to my show when it's convenient for you and without censorship from big tech. Become a member of the ultimate online community for all things Prager. It's Pragertopia Unlimited. Listen to every radio show over the last 10 years, all commercial free. You can even listen to all my Torah teachings for free. Join today and save 25% off the first year and get a free Pragertopia coffee mug. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
Do you know what to do when a car is pulled over on the side of the road? First, reduce your speed. Second, change lanes if possible. Third, proceed with caution. These 3 simple steps can be the difference between life and death. The next time you're on the road, do the right thing. Slow down, move over, and drive like your life and their life depends on it. Sponsored by the Illinois Broadcasters Association. Aired in cooperation with this station. Thanks to the AAA Auto Club for their financial support in the airing of this message.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
How do you cook your grits? You like them regular, creamy, or al dente?
I like them dented. Yeah, right. Dented is good. Did you see that Congresswoman Boebert has read articles of impeachment for Biden?
I thought a couple did, but yeah,
Yeah?
No, it's been a long time coming. If it was Trump, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Been articles of impeachment on day one.
It has to go through the Senate, so, that's probably not going to work out. But she's a gutsy lady. She really is. She'll probably turn up floating in the Potomac somewhere. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So Biden had a campaign reception at a private residence in California, and he gave what is classified as a speech.
I don't think anything he says is actually, classified as speech by the strictest legal definition.
I'm surprised he found the House, really.
A speech.
Yeah. In it, he said he was meeting with the premier of, what do they call the leader of the party in China? He's not a premier. He's
the China guy?
I'm not sure.
China guy.
Talking about Xi?
Yeah.
The president.
President?
Chinese
Oh,
president.
I think they're president,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah, it was Xi Jinping. And he said, I spent a lot of hours with him over the last 12 years. I mean, they keep meticulous records, 82 hours worth, just he and I, 60 some of it in person. And we were in the Tibetan Plateau. And he said, can you define America for me? And I said, yes, I can, in one word. The Gov here has heard me say this before, in one word, possibilities. Possibilities. What exactly are the possibilities with Biden? Has anyone sat down and tried to figure out what the possibilities really are?
Possibilities as far as what?
Exactly.
Possible Chinese agent?
Is what?
Is a possible Chinese agent?
I'd say that's pretty good.
I think his son is, arguably.
That's probably true.
Definitely.
He goes, he was talking about why he ran for president. And when I read this, I had to laugh. He said, I ran on 3 principles that even my good friends and my staff they thought maybe, weren't able to be conveyed very well. I said, the first reason I'm running is to restore the soul of this country. Well, it's going to hell then. If the country has a soul, it's going to burn. And then he said, the second reason I said I was running was to rebuild the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, because when that happens, everybody does well. Everybody does well. Wait, Trump's economy, yes, Trump's economy when he took office was phenomenal.
I think he meant destroy, and he said rebuild.
It may have been slipping. Yeah, it could have been off the teleprompter.
I think it was. Yeah.
And then, and this is the one that really got me. He said, I said the third reason I was running, and the press justifiably, and I'm not criticizing them, said that was the old days, Mr. Vice President. So he's still not sure if he's the president. Mr.
He's done that so many times.
Oh, I know.
Too.
To be fair, I think he's speaking in the past tense.
Well, that would be past tense. But
Yeah,
anyway,
he was Mr. Vice President at the time.
He said, and that was, I said I was going to unite America.
I think again it's pronounced divide.
Yeah. So
maybe he had a stroke. Maybe he exercised too much.
Does he exercise? He rides a bicycle for short trips.
That didn't end well.
Maybe it said untie and he's dyslexic.
Short trips and big falls.
He has set a record. First of all, he's the first president to ever fall down the stairs going up 3 times in a row. And then now he has fallen 3 times going downstairs in a row.
I think falling is just, a daily occurrence, and they just happen to capture it on video sometimes.
Anyway, so he's just making this big speech, and he says, so I set out to do these 3 things, and one of the things that happened was, I found the things people thought that things were in tough shape. I made a speech right after it was just before I was elected last time at Independence Hall, talking about democracy, that democracy was at stake, literally at stake. I'm glad he recognizes that. I'm glad that he recognizes that democracy is at stake, because it is.
It's a start.
Yeah. And then he quotes about over 63% of the American people agree there's something wrong with what happens. Yes, that's probably true. I don't doubt that at all.
I think it's more than 63%, and I don't think it's in his favor.
No. I don't get the guy, and I have to wonder, and I'm sure a lot of people do, who's actually controlling this?
Well, so my theory is that he's actually an AI bot that
well, that assumes intelligence.
That they knew this Elon Musk was doing like a really good job with auto driving and AI and stuff, so they purchased this Biden AI bot from Tesla, but not realizing that Elon Musk is not a Democrat or an ultra liberal, so he sold them a defective version of the Biden AI bot, which falls and crashes and says dumb things.
Here's yet another encroachment. Check this. He has made a commitment that 30% of all of our land and all of our water is going to be put into conservation by the year 2030.
Who was asking for that to happen?
Well, more importantly, in the Constitution of the United States, there's no provision for the government to own any land except Washington, D.C., and they basically define what the limits of that are. There's no provision for the federal government to own land.
So again, I think he misspoke, and that meant he was going to sell at least 30% of our land to China during his presidency, which he's doing a really, really, really good job of, especially around our sensitive military bases.
Isn't it interesting, by the way, about Hunter Biden? Did you see that?
What's not interesting about Hunter Biden?
He basically got off with a slap on the hand.
Yeah, a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Well, we could, Daddy's involved too, but let's not talk about that because,
Yeah, and they want to put Trump away for life.
What was a huge surprise? The White House press corps actually taking KJP to task a little bit.
Well, you know what?
She kept saying, "Well, I've answered that question," and they were like, "No, you haven't."
You're right, but it's so blatantly egregious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just,
whenever your press secretary has to refer you to the White House counsel.
That's
a great
problem.
Look.
There's a backstory there. There's definitely a backstory. And then he went on at this thing and talked quite a bit about gun control. And it gets back to, and this is, this man, I don't know if he's intentionally lying or if he's just confused or what. But this is a classic example. He's talking about gun control, and he says that he's actually a Second Amendment guy. Okay.
No.
Well, that's what he says, and he said, well, he started off the whole thing about one problem is the whole idea of dealing with gun violence. He says the idea that more children die as a result of gunshot wounds of a bullet than any other reason in America is sick. It's really sick. I don't know if that number's...
That is a very sick idea because it's absolutely wrong.
Exactly. And then the fact that the NRA has such overwhelming power, blah, blah, blah. But he goes on to say, and by the way, no, I can't find it. Where is it?
I think I might have the audio of what you're about to say.
Are you? Do you?
Yeah.
Law school? Law school?
I'm not sure where it was, but where he makes it blatantly clear that he doesn't know what guns are or how they work.
Oh, no. This one is, he says, I'm a Second Amendment guy. I taught it for 6 years in law school. And guess what? It doesn't say that you can own any weapon you want. It says there's certain weapons that you can't. Well, first of all, that's not true. But here's the bigger thing. This is the bigger part. He got, when he came out of the vice presidency, he got the Benjamin Franklin Presidential Practice Professor at the University of Pennsylvania. It's an honorarium. He got $900,000. No teaching, no research, no administrative responsibilities. He came and gave a couple of talks to the university, and that's what it was. And he talks about he taught constitutional law and all this kind of stuff. Now, I don't know if he just makes it up or he believes it. I don't know.
Maybe he's told himself or told other people that lie so many times that his Alzheimer brain is like, oh, yeah, that's what happened.
It's become reality. I mean, I think you may be right.
You want this other thing? It's a gem. It's about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Go for it.
put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun. Makes it more, you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that gun.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
That's him.
So true.
And he's, dead set.
Such a disappointment.
Disarming the population.
President of the United States, gentlemen.
I don't know. He probably should be governor of Illinois.
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to take the break. When we come back, we are going to talk about the light guard system and smart guns, one of our favorite topics, smart guns. All that more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
News, I'm Ted Lindner. A large asteroid passing by Earth Sunday night.
A huge asteroid named by scientists as 2023 MU2 is expected to pass Earth tonight. It's roughly the size of a 3-story building and likely to pass our planet from about 134,000 miles away. That's a little more than half the distance between the Earth and the moon.
That's Fox's Christina Coleman. Space.com says the asteroid was discovered just a week ago. And former President Trump ending his weekend of campaigning in Detroit, speaking at the Oakland County GOP's annual Lincoln Day dinner. The former president saying that President Biden's trade policies are killing the nation.
We have record high trade deficits, also known, in my opinion, as losses. We lose a fortune to China, to Japan, to all these countries.
It's the former president's first visit to Michigan during the 2024 campaign. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the 100% drug-free Relief Factor. We all deal with aches and pains in our day-to-day lives, and I have had my fair share, including injuries like a detached quad muscle that I can tell you fell into the category of really bad pain. But I've been able to manage the pain by taking Relief Factor. It helps your own body to attack and fight off sources of inflammation, the source of most of our aches and pains, and I've loved it for years now. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick starter pack for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
We can tell you about the incredible success we bring to local businesses, but it's better when it comes directly from our satisfied clients. Here's just one example.
After searching for a new vendor to handle my search marketing campaign, I contacted Salem Surround after seeing the great work they did for another restoration company in the different market. Their team of experts recommended a mix of multiple tactics designed to get my business the most quality leads at the lowest cost, making my marketing budget stretch further. In our first year partnering with Salem Surround, we recorded our best year to date, and I've told many people how blessed I was to find them. The representative answered the phone every time I called and quickly addressed any questions or concerns I had.
Let Salem Surround give you an absolutely free audit of your current marketing and show you what your competition is doing. Then we can come up with a personalized plan that's perfect for your needs. Visit surroundchicago.com and let our marketing experts help you achieve real success. Remember to visit surroundchicago.com today.
Tune in to Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman.
Plan ahead for the dangerous situation so that they don't affect you and you can weather the storm and just sail right over it.
Call Steve for your own free consultation today at 833-945-7283, 833-945-7283, and be sure to tune in to Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv. We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
So we're going to cast some light on another subject.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Is that a segue or what?
That's beautiful.
That's really nice, yeah. Some guys come up with a light system. It's called a light guard. And when it triggers, it flashes a bright light, so bright that it literally disorients. Now, we know that does work.
Well, I've already thought of a way to defeat it just by reading the article, but go ahead.
Well, but people like that don't read articles. They just
true.
rob homes. Who's the portable light manufacturer?
Portable light manufacturer?
Not portable. It's, we wore it on our duty belts.
Like Streamlight?
No. But you got the right idea.
Well, okay.
It's anyway, it's a famous thing. But the point is Surefire.
Okay.
There's Surefire flashlights that literally they darn near knock you over when you get blasted in the dark.
Well, Streamlight's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different competitor. Yeah.
So basically, this is that on a sort of elephantine scale, and they're talking about putting it in hallways and schools and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the theory is the bad guy comes in and they flip the lights on and he goes blind and you get him on the ground and you pound on him or whatever you're going to do.
Sounds legit.
Sort of.
It worked in North Africa in World War II. They confused fighters and bombers just by spinning spotlights around. There are lots of ways to make people nauseous and disoriented with light.
I discovered that flying with a student in the clouds once in turbulence.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. We won't go down that path. But anyway, when you're trapped in an airplane after someone has,
An iffy situation?
Yeah. It's fortunately I was not covered with it personally, but it was. You can't open a window. That's what I'm saying.
Aircrafts are made of aluminum. You can hose them out. It'll be fine.
That's true. Anyway, so this whole thing, what the object is, they want to cut down on shooters in schools.
Well, which we should.
Yeah.
But is this going to work? That's the question. So they say that this can temporarily render someone blind for about 10 to 20 seconds, up to a few minutes, using 100,000 lumens of light.
Which is a pretty powerful light.
It is a pretty powerful light. I mean, I don't think I have a flashlight that's quite that bright.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe 1,000, but not 100,000. So.
Yeah, and my Surefire. Foolishly, I looked into it to see.
I'm pretty sure you have a Streamlight.
No, I don't.
No, you have a Surefire? Okay.
Yeah. It's really bright. I mean, it blinds you. It really does.
I mean, it could, and the law enforcement flashlights have like a strobe effect and stuff that's supposed to disorient or at least help to disorient and things like that. But
well, the point that this guy makes, he's not really criticizing the ability of the thing, but what the point he makes is everything is a cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to cost a lot of money. They have to be installed, right? And then they're saying, well, why couldn't an active shooter take one of these things and use them to disorient victims, which isn't untrue, but they say, oh, well, they're going to be bolted to the wall and they're not going to be able to carry it around. Well, guess what? With the advances in technology, I'm sure you could get something that you could carry around that could do the same thing or close there too. So, there's obviously some downside to this whole thing. And is it going to be in the area that you need it? Where's the light going to be focused? Is it going to disorient victims as well? The one thing that I immediately thought of when I read this was, welding helmet, right? Auto darkening welding helmet. You sees light, goes dark, gets bright, no problem.
Well, it says that they have the ability to turn these off.
Well, whoever the administrator would be could turn the system on and turn the system off.
Right.
So, for example, when law enforcement would arrive,
or if you try to evacuate,
they would turn it off. Or hopefully, when it would evacuate. Now, would it be noise activated, motion activated? Would it be activated by a switch? Who's going to be in charge? All that stuff is still to be seen.
And then the other thing that I want to squeeze in before we go to break. It's back again. It's like, the gift that keeps on giving, right?
Smart
guns. And I mean, we've certainly talked about this plenty in the past. Just the concept of only one person can use that gun. And as you brought up earlier today, what if it's a bloody hand or it's covered with mud or dirt or whatever?
Cut, you got blood, you got your other hand, you got another person that's going to use that firearm that's another good guy.
And then how much is it going to cost with that kind of technology?
There's all these downsides to it. It's so stupid. And I'm really surprised that it says here in this article that a law enforcement agency is helping them pilot it. I'm like, well, what law enforcement agency is working with that? Because unless the goal of that agency is to say this is completely stupid, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that one day they can't come up with something, but I am saying that for what I know right now, I don't think it makes sense.
They've not had a lot of in the past because there have been people who've tried it, and they've not had a lot of success.
Somehow they say it's going to lower suicides too. So do your fingerprints stop being fingerprints for your gun when you want to? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
I don't get it at all, and it bothers me. The price is going to go up, and it's just the whole thing is going to be a pain in the neck.
Oh yeah.
I think we're going to take a break.
Yeah, clock's stuck at 1, but we're taking a break.
Are we in an eternal?
We got 5 seconds. 4, 3. We'll be back with more on Target Radio
after these messages.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Our doctor thinks it's wonderful. Well, we got more energy. We feel like doing more. Yeah, we're 83 and 84 years old. And we're talking about buying a pontoon boat. What's that tell you? We may say, hey, come out and film us.
I had my checkup, and I told the doctor, and he said, and I showed him what I was taking. He said, well, I have to look into Balance of Nature. He said, that's great. So he may be referring orders to you, too.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. For a limited time this summer, get $25 off your first order as a preferred customer, plus a free fruits and veggies travel set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
And we have Terry on the line. Terry, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm fine. Is that me?
Yep, you would be Terry, I would be David.
Okay,
I'm Eric.
And he would be Eric.
To find out, I was looking at my FOID card last night to find out the expiration date, and they don't put one on there anymore.
No. So here's the short answer.
What's a FOID card?
You can go home now. So here's the deal. 3 years ago, was it? 3 years ago, April? When did the pandemic start?
I think it was, it was 2020, April 2020.
Okay. So what was happening is initial of new FOID and new concealed carry cards was at one point gone out as far as a year and a half it took to get. So Pritzker told the state police to stop doing renewals and focus everything on initials. And then he did an executive order. I think it was an executive order. And he said that all FOID and concealed carry cards expiration date will be 18 months from the day the pandemic is declared over in the state of Illinois, which
has happened.
Which just happened recently.
Yeah, it just happened.
So your card, if it expired in the past 3 years, you're good. Just go and take the refresher course, and you're fine.
However, they have stopped putting expiration dates on FOID cards.
And in fact, I got the combined FOID and concealed carry in the mail.
Right, and I think the thing is the FOID does not expire.
It does not. It's tied to the concealed carry now.
But I think if you don't have concealed carry, your FOID still doesn't expire.
Well, then you'll have a FOID card by itself.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Well, you have a FOID card with a concealed carry authorization indicator on it.
Yeah.
Right.
What bothers me about it is it just says I forget exactly what, but like
it just
CC
says
or something.
Yeah.
Which if you're out of state, they're not going to know what that means. You have a concealed carry permit, and you go, I got this, and it says FOID card. What's that?
Well, first of all, if you're out of state, nobody cares that you have an Illinois FOID card or whether it has a concealed carry indicator on it.
Well, but you have to have a concealed carry permit.
For what?
Okay, that's more.
Depends on what state. Well, it depends on what state
exactly.
you're in.
It depends on where
some
you are.
states will recognize Illinois' permit
Right.
if it's issued by Illinois. Some states don't recognize it. Illinois does not recognize anybody else's.
So now Terry's going to go to bed and he's going to go, what the heck was that about?
Yeah, I know. Basically, they stopped putting expiration dates on the FOID cards. Yeah. If you have concealed carry, there's an expiration date for that.
Yep. So you can just take the refresher and you're good to go. Good enough?
Where do you take a refresher at? I mean, I don't have a concealed carry. I've just got the.
Well, then just
there's
you don't
no
have
refresher.
to. There's no refresher. Just go online to the state of Illinois, Illinois State Police firearms thing, and then just apply for renewal.
I'm mostly sure they don't expire anymore. I think they changed it, but I don't take that as gospel. I would go on the portal, and you can look and see the status of your card, and if it's still valid and there's no expiration, then you're good.
Yep.
Okay. Because I think the last time I renewed, it was good for 10 years, or the one before that was.
They were 10 years
It
originally.
was the last 2 or 3 that I renewed.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not positive.
Yeah, they were.
I'm getting older. My memory's not as good as it was.
Well, all righty. Thanks for calling. Anyway, I just real quick wanted to add one last thing before we pull the pin. George Soros is kind of retiring. And
Thank God.
Well,
but maybe.
we say that, but he's passing the torch on to his youngest son, Alexander, who's worse than he is. Alexander is much more political than Soros ever was. Soros would divvy up the money and send it to people, but his son is very plugged into politics, which could be even worse in the long run. But that's what's happening. Soros is retiring. He's going to probably go live on some island and have kids flown out or something. I don't know what, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, I want to clarify what I said earlier. So beginning January 1st, 2023, the Illinois State Police will automatically renew your FOID card if you've submitted a full set of fingerprints to the ISP specifically for your FOID card or concealed carry. And that's upon an FTIP approval. So they do auto-renew, but you have to have submitted fingerprints.
There you go. They just sent me, I didn't have anything that expired. And I just in the mail one day got a card which was the combined FOID and concealed carry and no expiration date.
I got one of those too.
Yeah. But you have to turn yours in. I can keep mine.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
My wife got a renewed FOID card in the mail with a giant red lipstick kiss on the inside of the envelope. Not a joke.
You're scaring me. You're scaring me.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Not a joke.
That is really weird.
Yes.
Came from ISP.
Yes.
Okay.
This is as good a time to cut
We
the
could
show
call
as
her.
I can
It's
imagine.
not a joke.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Bizarre.
That's truly bizarre. But this is Illinois. It shouldn't be that bizarre. It
It's
should
not
be
at all.
something to
Pritzker
expect.
probably put it on there.
Yeah,
Or no, his sister, brother, whatever.
Funny you mentioned Pritzker. As long as I got a minute left.
And you do.
Yeah, I do. People are saying, not that I'm defending Pritzker at all.
Please don't.
But they're saying, oh, he's duplicitous because he's opening up a gun range himself. That's not true. It's his cousin, I think. I think Penny Pritzker's his cousin. But anyway, is a retired officer, and she or he, whichever you choose, ran the Pritzker Museum, military museum, and they decided to move. They needed more room. They outgrew it, and because of the politics and the gun control stuff in Illinois, because they wanted to add a range, they moved it to Wisconsin. Got nothing to do with the governor. Got nothing to do with the governor whatsoever. Awesome. People are going, oh, it's the governor. It's not. So there's that. Anyway.
Well, we have to take another break. When we come back, we'll have more On Target Radio, and you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dennis Prager. Now you can listen to my show when it's convenient for you and without censorship from big tech. Become a member of the ultimate online community for all things Prager. It's Pragertopia Unlimited. Listen to the show on demand when it's easiest for you. This includes every radio show, every segment, and every guest over the last 10 years, and it's commercial free. You can even share your favorite segments with your friends. Plus, you'll get the same email from Alan Estrin that I receive every night about the most important issues to read about. Pragertopia Unlimited members can also listen to every program, lecture, and course that is in the Prager store. Thousands of hours. You can even listen to all my Torah teachings for free. Share my passion for free speech. Join today and save 25% off the first year and get a free Pragertopia coffee mug. It's all things Prager. Pragertopia Unlimited. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
When you take the time to really get to know your body, you find that the root causes of its aches and pains are usually simple. The older we get, the more exercise we undertake, and the more injuries we sustain, the more inflammation our bodies suffer from. It's so simple. And my answer to that pain is Relief Factor, which I discovered years ago and take every single day to great effect. It helps the body to fight off inflammation, and I've never found anything that worked better in my life. I can't recommend it enough. 70% of the more than 500,000 million people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference. relieffactor.com.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
So I thought Halloween was just on October 31st or, somewhere
Something
around
like that.
time.
Wrong.
Yeah, apparently I am wrong because kids in schools and dressing up like animals is kind of a common thing, and now we're being told that, just accept it, and it's bad to ridicule these people.
If the kid's 5, that's cute. If he's 18, that may be problematic.
Well, actually at 18, I don't care at that point, but anywhere between 5 and 18 is a problem.
Yeah.
And anywhere, in a place of education or higher education, for that matter, I guess, so over 18 would also be a concern.
This. I mean, are they coming to school dressed up like animals or what?
So there were some stories a while ago, and some of them were dismissed as being incorrect, but then later found out that this actually does happen, where these kids will actually either act like a dog or a cat, or I guess even dinosaurs now. Because, dinosaurs are, still alive, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And
the ones that
they will go about their school day and identify as these animals, and some of the schools actually give them extra time to get from class to class. Let them be walked around on a leash. And they're called furries.
Furries?
Yeah, furries.
So they bark instead of talk?
I don't know if they bark or not. I mean, I would guess that they could, because how
was this coming to America?
How could the school tell them not to? That'd
Sounds
be wrong.
much more like it would be Sweden.
No, it's actually in America. So I think it's America, and I was trying to find the article, but there's another country. They actually have these furry conventions, which I get. It's like a Comic-Con convention where they dress up as superheroes or villains or whatnot, which is completely cool. But actually, my brother had a really good idea. So we were out having lunch.
Knowing your brother, this is going to be
this is going to be great. Yeah. So we were out having lunch, and this guy, probably, I'm probably going to offend some people, but if I'm not offending people,
We've never done that before.
I'm not actually doing my job. But this older larger guy walks in with this Batman shirt, and we were having lunch, and just this big guy, and he's probably 45, and he's got this big Batman shirt on. My brother's like, I should just get these costumes, and I can just dress up as the villains, just have random costumes in the car, just dress up as Joker and come in and take his food or something. I'm like, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. So these people just go walking around pretending like they're still kids or whatever. It's just kind of I don't know.
But Eric, what do you expect?
Society's kind of interesting.
What do you expect from a society that now says if you feel like you're a female, you are one?
I don't expect a lot, especially anymore. It's not so much what I expect as what I'm willing to,
Still be surprised by?
Yeah, still be surprised by. I mean, I guess I can't say I can't put up with it, because I don't really care what people do as long as it doesn't affect me. But yeah, it's the being surprised by it part that I think is just really the standard. The bar is really low, so low where we might need to get that implosion-proof submersible down there to find the bar. I don't know if that was too soon or not.
You're not going to be doing the limbo under it.
Yeah, no.
I just hope my 5-year-old never hears about this, or he's going to start identifying as Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
so
but
he can
it's
go
5.
to school dressed as it.
Well, for another year until he's 6, and then no more.
No,
it just bothers me that we've lost the sort of fabric of what the society has been.
You know, and it's not
Even
everywhere
200
though.
years ago.
You know, the sad thing is it's very few and far between. It doesn't exist everywhere. It's not all people. It's a very small minority that make a very large amount of noise about it. But anyway, that's all the time we have for On Target Radio. Be sure to listen next week when we'll be covering more red meat issues that affect your life.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app.
A wild weekend in Russia. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. The attempted Wagner Group insurrection against Russia may change the direction of the war in Ukraine.
After a tense day in Russia, a deal struck by the president of Belarus appears to have pulled the country back from the brink of civil war. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko was reportedly working the